Dear students, with the help of third video class of complex compound, today I have to teach you about the bonding in coordination compounds. So this is about the bonding in coordination compounds, and regarding the bonding of coordination compounds, there are mainly four theories. As for example, Werner's theory, valence bond theory, crystal field theory, and ligand field theory. In class 12, you have to study about the first three theories. They are Werner's theory, valence bond theory, and crystal field theory also. Today, I will discuss with you about the two theories, that is Werner's theory and valence bond theory. See here, and in the Werner's theory, the main thing is that Werner proposed two types of valencies. They are primary valency and secondary valency, and with the help of these two types of valencies, he could be able to give the structure of octahedral complex by using silver nitrate solution for the compounds of cobalt chloride with ammonia, and he decided the structures of the complexes. Now, structures of some complexes on the basis of Werner's theory. Werner studied the geometries of this series of compounds of cobalt 3 chloride with ammonia. He found that some of chlorine atoms could be precipitated in aqueous solution as AgCl on adding excess of silver nitrate solution in cold. These were ionizable valencies, ionizable chloride ions, and represented the primary valency. These could be estimated by knowing number of moles of AgNO3 used per mole of complex. So this was the experiment of Werner, and on the basis of this theory, Werner proposed the following type of structures of coordination compounds. So this is the structure of coordination compounds, and it has 6 ligands. So this is the structure of coordination number 6 coordination compounds. In this, the dotted line shows primary valency. Here the dotted just beside the thick line shows primary as well as secondary valency, and on the basis of this theory, Werner proposed the structures of the following complexes. But later on, it proved to be wrong with some limitations, or it could not satisfy the facts, many facts, as for example, which I am telling you here, that is written. Limitations of Werner's theory. Werner was the first to explain the bonding features in complex compounds. However, this theory could not explain the following facts. What are the following queries? Why is the complex forming tendency limited to a few elements only? So Werner experimented only for few elements, that is cobalt, platinum, nickel, and so on. Now, the second query is that which was not completed by the Werner, or the structure given by Werner could not explain this thing. Why do bonds in coordination complexes are directional nature? Why do bonds in coordination complexes are of directional nature? Bonds means directional nature means what type of structure? It gives octahedral structure. So why octahedral? So this question was not solved by Werner's theory. Now the third limitation: why are certain complexes of magnetic nature and so geometrical and optical isomerism? Why are certain complexes of magnetic nature and so geometrical and means Werner, the structure given by Werner could not explain the magnetic nature as well as the geometrical and optical isomerism. This is the limitation. At present, the theory has lost its relevances and has been replaced by more exhaustive theory. कहने का मतलब इसका अभी वर्नर थ्योरी के का जो है सो कोई खास इसका इम्पोर्टेंस नहीं रहा. इट हैज़ नो इम्पोर्टेंस. Now, this theory was replaced by the more important or more relevant theory, that is valence bond theory, and these are the numericals on the basis of Werner's theory, which will make your concept clear when you will see the this numerical. That is very simple. Means how many ions are silver ions are precipitated in this numerical, it is clear, and with the help of this numerical you will become clear about the concept of Werner's theory. Now, so this is also another question. A complex compound of cobalt with molecular formula COClX Y.NH3 gives a total number of 3 ions on dissolving in water to satisfy both the primary and secondary valency in the complex. What is the number of Cl- ions required? So this is another numerical or the problem which will satisfy about the concept of Werner's theory. Now, on the 6th page, now this is valence bond theory. So these are the assumptions of valence bond theory. There are 3 assumptions or postulates. Now, on the basis of valence bond theory, coordination for the coordination number 4, 4, 5, 6, the hybridization list of hybridization structures, name of structures, the list of hybridizations and the name of structures are listed here. This much for 4sp3, for 4dsp2 square planar, and so on. Now on page number 7, the d orbitals that are involved in process of hybridization the d orbitals are that are obtained in the process of hybridization can be either from the inner d orbitals or outer d orbitals. Means when we will show the formation of complex compound, then for the ligands inner orbitals can be also used or the outer orbitals can be also used. So these are the assumptions. On the basis of these assumptions, so this is the application of valence bond theories. So here with what is written here, complexes with coordination number 6 now. Now, hexaamine cobalt chromium 3 ion, this is the structure. and this is the name and this is the formula. So for this type of problem or formation of complex, first of all you will have to calculate the oxidation number. First of all you write the electronic configuration on the basis of box diagram method. Then you calculate the oxidation number of chromium. As for example, this is the neutral ligand ammonia here. This is ammonia neutral ligand. This is ammonia here, neutral ligand. And as on the complex entity it has 3 plus charge, this means chromium is in plus 3 oxidation state. And so then you write the electronic configuration for the remaining electrons, means when 3 electrons were removed from the chromium atom, then this has this type of a structure. Now the third stage is the type of hybridization. So how will you decide the hybridization? D2sp3. How does it happen? See here, this is the point where you have to learn. See here, means when it has 3 electrons and 2 d orbitals, means 2 inner d orbitals are vacant here, and 1 is s and 3 is p. So for hybridization, 2 3d orbitals, 2 3d orbitals and 1 s orbital and 3 4p orbitals, 1 4s orbital and 3 4p orbital were used here for hybridization D2sp3 from here, means these are the number of vacant orbitals here from. Once again I am telling you, 2 3d orbital, 1 4s orbital and 3 4p orbital. See here, they undergo hybridization, and the name of such type of hybridization is D2sp3, as it is inner orbital complex, as inner d orbital was used here. Outer, where is outer d orbital? Outer d orbital is after 4p, that is 4d. So we will see in the another example that how outer orbital is used for hybridization. Now there are 6 ligands. Number of ligands is 6. So 6 ligands here, 6 ligands means 6 ammonia molecule. One ligand will coordinate with this, other with this, third with this, fourth this with 5 this in this way, and 6 here. So in this way 6 ligands uses these 6 hybrid orbitals, and each and every hybrid name of each and every hybrid orbital is D2sp3. This is also D2sp3. This is name. Its name is also D2sp3. Its name is also D2sp3. Its name is also D2sp3. Hybrid orbital. Its name is also D2sp3. This is also D2sp3. So name of each and every hybrid orbital is D2sp3. So there are 6 D2sp3 hybrid orbitals here, and they are vacant, and they are occupied by 6 ammonia neutral ligands. Now about the characteristic features of geometry or the complex state of hybridization. D2sp3, nature of the complex, inner orbital complex, magnetic nature, paramagnetic, as it has 3 unpaired electrons, so it is paramagnetic. If there will no any electron, then it will become diamagnetic. And the fourth is the magnetic moment, calculation of magnetic moment with their formula root under n multiplied n plus 2. So in this way you can, there are some more examples I have collected here, I am showing you. So this is the formation of complex, means how does formation of complex take place of this type of complex, that is hexacyanoferrate 3 ion. This is another type of complex. So same process is done, and if you will be asked to write the show the hybridization, calculate the magnetic properties or the type of complex, you will show like this. You will have to show like this, as for example it is written. So in 4 steps everything was written here in 4 steps for this complex, and at last you can know the characteristic features of the geometry. If there be even one electron is present, then in that case also it is paramagnetic. So it will be weakly paramagnetic in this case. If more unpaired electrons are present, this means strongly paramagnetic. If no unpaired electrons are present, then it is diamagnetic. So here are the some complexes. You have to do practice. You have to do practice at your home. This is about the complexes about which you have to do practice. Now on page number 11, what is written? That is complexes with coordination number 4. Same process is done, and this is the hybridization type sp3. For this is the coordination number 4 for sp3, and this is for square planar complexes, means dsp2 type complexes. And on page number 12, that is also for coordination number complexes of coordinate with coordinates square planar complexes with square planar geometry, means coordination number is 4 but the geometry is square planar. For that it is in this example is for such type of square planar complex. And this is about the limitation of VVT. This is about the limitation of VVT. Here next is the example of coordination number 5, and this is about the limitations of VVT. Means even VVT are also even VVT also could not satisfy some property of the complex compound. As for example, they fails to explain the thermodynamic and kinetic stabilities. This theory does not explain the spectral property. This theory means valence bond theory doesn't say or explain the color of the complex. It does not explain the detailed magnetic properties, and valence bond theory explain the only the structure and the type of complex, and it could not explain these types of property. So this is about the valence bond theory and Werner's theory. Next day I will teach you about the crystal field theory.